lot of children suffer low self-esteem.
True.
A lot of children cannot even speak in, but a lot of children have a lot of self-doubt because of the kind of things we say to them.
And the question is, what are you busy telling your children? What kind of words do you speak to your children? Children are human beings as well. My name is Oma, your very sweetheart on radio, TV, social media, sweetheart everywhere. Welcome to Oma's Diary 360, where I chronicle my journey as a broadcast, social impact, volunteer, as I'm so many things in one, but most importantly, a journalist. Welcome. So today on the program, I'm so excited because I'll be having this conversation with Linda Nnodiogu, the convener of Preserved Childhood Foundation on child safety. We had amazing conversation and I learned so much. I was really and truly inspired. I believe you'll be inspired. Kindly listen till the very end. Thank you so much for joining us. Here is a program where we talk about everything, all the issues that teenagers are going through. The essence of this program is to help build their self-confidence, their self-esteem, to make them believe that they can become every positive thing that they really want to become. My name is Oma, your very special sweetheart on radio, TV, social media, sweetheart everywhere. It's always amazing to be here, and I have with me, what name should I call her now? Omoma Asar. There are people, it's just when they go to bed, they're just for beating sake. For beating sake. But it's the truth. It's the truth. Okay. I'm talking about Linda Nnodiogu. She's been here a couple of times. She's the convener of Preserved Childhood Foundation. She's an entrepreneur. She's an author, a screenwriter. She's a mom. She's a mom. I can't even. That's why I call her Omoma Asar. Linda.
Hi.
Omoma.
Thank you very much for having me.
I'm always excited to have you here because whenever you come here, we always have amazing conversations that really provoke a lot of thoughts, just like what we're going to discuss today. So you're coming up with this summit, Child Safety Summit, which will be the very first of its kind, right? In Anambra State, even I should say the Southeast.
Yes.
Okay, and the amazing part of this summit is that it coincides with the UN celebration of children, right? That's amazing. That's the beautiful part of it. But let's look at child safety. Over a couple of days, I had some conversation with people and I realized that a lot of persons are yet to find out what child safety means. So what do you mean by child safety?
Okay, thank you very much, Oma. So child safety, in a simple way that everyone will understand, is simply the protection of children from all forms of danger and abuse. So when we talk about this abuse, it is not just sexual abuse. We're talking about physical and emotional abuse. This is something a lot of children go through. The physical abuse stuff, it's very rampant in this part of the world. We find it difficult to draw the line between abuse and discipline. So we tend to always go overboard. We are disciplining a child, but a lot of times we go overboard with that discipline. We traumatize our children in the name of disciplining them. And all these things have their own side effects, even the emotional abuse. The kind of things we say to children, not just us, but the children that live with us, the children we teach. In school, you see, if you can sit back and think back to your childhood, there will be a teacher would have told you something that would affect your self-esteem, which you might still be struggling with even as an adult. So you see, the emotional abuse part comes in, and then there is the all-important sexual abuse that a lot of children are going through today. So this child safety and protection, it is just like the way Igbo people will say, okay, in the Igbo community now, it should be. Because these days we see children going astray and then we look the other way. Everyone is trying to mind their business. But child protection, at the end of the day, that child you're looking away from might become a menace in your immediate society. So you are going to also suffer for it. So child protection simply means everyone looking out for the child around you to ensure that those children do not experience any form of abuse. Okay. That is what child safety is.
All right. So let's look at what are the practical ways that we start with parents, then we get to teachers, we get to school, and we get to the society. What are the practical ways that parents can actually protect children?
Okay, parents need to be aware of what abuse is, like I said, and then they need to be conscious, because sometimes it is the parents who actually abuse these children. Okay, be it your child or adopted or a child that lives with you. Okay, so you look out know when you're going overboard with the punishment you're giving children.
What kind of punishments should parents even give children?
I think do you know what? One thing is that we tend to misunderstand what discipline really is. Discipline is not an emergency.
Yeah.
Discipline is not something that immediately the child does something to beat the child. That is not actually correcting. Sometimes it is you as a parent sending your frustration on a child. Okay. And a lot of times you find out that you've not created a system or something that works in the house to make it easy for the child to follow the rules. We lack a lot of structures in our homes. So everything is going upside down, and you are frustrated with the economic situation of the country. You find that if you really sit down and talk to yourself, you will see that a lot of times when you beat your children, it is not because it is their fault. It is because you are frustrated. It is because you are frustrated. So as a parent, create a structure in your home. And when you want to punish a child, let that punishment be relative to what the child has done. I don't know how a child spilling oil or spilling something will result to beating. Do you understand? I don't know how it resorts to beating. I don't know how. Very simple. Maybe a child not doing their chore, it doesn't need beating. What you need to do is to find a consequence for that action. See that the child has done something, and let that child be in the know of what the consequence of that action. You did not wash the plate today. The consequence is that maybe you're going to wash the plate for the next 2 days, or that you're going to scrub the back of the pot. This is a relative punishment to what the child has done, and the child should be in the know, so that the moment they are deciding not to wash the plate, they know what follows. So when you're telling them to do that thing, they no longer see it as punishment. They know this is what I signed up for.
Right.
The mindset of the child is not like, they are punishing me. I have done something wrong, and this is the consequences of my action. Okay, so parents need to sit down and really have a discussion with their children. Talk to them. See, as you're setting up those house rules, let them be involved in the house rule setting, so that when they fail the rules, you can just look at that person. You know what the punishment for what you have done is. They're going to do it with open heart. Okay. And even when you feel like, as African parents, a lot of times we feel like that physical beating, do it with intentionality.
Right.
Do not, so that you do not go overboard with it. You do it with it.
So you don't even hurt the child.
So a lot of children have scars now. They'll tell you that their parents gave them those scars, and it is you losing your patience. So when it comes to physical abuse, it is something that can be avoided. It is something that has to be avoided.
Emotional abuse.
Then the emotional abuse, and this emotional abuse thing is usually a cycle. Have you ever seen some parents cursing their children?
I'm telling you,
using negative words on their projecting on their children. Like this children,
they're not even aware.
And they're not. Some of them feel like on a woman mad. Some of them actually think it's better to even say those things than beating them. It is bad. These are a lot of children suffer low self-esteem. True. A lot of children cannot even speak in, but a lot of children have a lot of self-doubt because of the kind of things we say to them. So as a parent, intentionally, some people say if you are always fighting with your spouse, you carry water in your mouth. If you have to do it with your children to actually hold yourself. And like I said, when a child does something, you want to say something, let what you're saying be about what they've done, not about the child. Don't make it about the child. That is, once you get personal, you know what's split. Hey, you're very stupid. You don't like this. No, you're not attacking the child. You're not breaking down the child. So it's better when it comes to emotional abuse. You have to be conscious as a parent. Pick your words right.
Parents that call their children olodo.
That's part of the emotional abuse you're talking about. Everybody has different intelligence quotient. Every child will not be an A+ student. So as a parent, you've done your part. The child has also done their part. Everybody, and that a child does not get first position or doesn't do so well in school does not mean that child will not be successful.
Exactly.
If you build the child, no matter how, even the ones that fail, some of them end up becoming people, important people in the society tomorrow. So, but when you now start attacking their person, making them feel like they are not good for anything, a child who is not sound academically might be good with their hands, have other skills that if you as a parent can build on, they will become something good in life. So you don't need to tear your child down because they lack certain things. You are not perfect yourself. Sometimes the parents are even cussing out their children. You check and they also have that. They're not that smart. So we have to be, understand that children are human beings.
children are actually human beings that need to be
Yeah,
treated right. That
true.
thing that somebody will say to you and you feel bad, if you say it to a child, that child will also feel bad about
True.
it. And we are breeding children who resent us. The way you're just saying those things, beating the child. You see, they might even forget beating, but you see those words you're saying to them. You see those bad words you're saying. It is hard to forget.
Yeah.
Those things are imprinting in their hearts and in their minds.
And that's why when parents grow older, they are expecting. They have that entitlement mentality.
That their
I've
children
trained
will-
you
you
come and
take
train
care
me or
of me.
take care of me.
And one of the things, if you break your child emotionally, that child will never be able to connect with you emotionally. And in your old age, when you need that emotional support, sometimes some children give their parents money, but they are not there for them emotionally because they've never connected to their parents. Okay, some of them, when they look at their parents, what they are thinking about the things you said to them in the past. So they might say, yes, giving you trained me in school and all that. I have some sort of responsibility towards you. I'll send you money. But have you seen children who have good relationship with their parents, even in their old age? There are people who will not wake up every day and they will not talk to their parents for a full 24 hours. They will talk to them, they will travel, they want to spend time with them, they want to bring them over to where they are. That is what relationship is when it has a very solid foundation.
Yeah, beautiful, amazing insight you've given us. Amazing. I'm just imagining what the summit is going to be like.
Yes.
You're giving all this insight. Well, before we come to the summit, let's look at briefly what teachers can do.
Okay.
Then before we get to schools.
Okay, the teachers, they have two roles to play when it comes to physical abuse. They too, they're also part of the system that damage children. Going overboard with punishments, you know the school rules, you know the regulations. In school, in Enugu the other day, we saw a teacher who flogged the child almost to the point of death. So it is also important that you discipline yourself. Don't bring your home issues, your own personal frustration, and you vent it on the kids. There are so many ways to discipline children.
Yeah.
There are different disciplinary measures. And then as you are also trying to hold yourself back, you're also looking out for the children in your class. What are those children that come to school with different marks, skin marks? Some of them are experiencing abuse at home. As a class teacher, it is also your responsibility to look out and report issues like this. So when you notice a child is being maltreated at home, go and report to the school authority. If the parent needs to be invited and sanctioned or whatever, talk to, so that they will know that the child is not just there to do whatever they please with. So but that's sometimes when I see cases of child abuse cases and children, I'm asking, where are the teachers? They shouldn't go to school. The neighbors. You see, this is where our collective responsibility comes in. When you see something, you say something.
Yeah.
When you hear someone overflogging, you can't knock. Sometimes you see that somebody flogs a child to death. Do you know how long that child screamed? How long that child cried before it got to the point of the child
death.
fainting? So everybody, we need to be active as a society. So teachers have those double roles to play. They do not need to be part of the abuse system. Even when another teacher is over punishing, you go and talk to the teacher. And the school, I think, when you see this, there are signs pasted in school, universities, cultism is bad. Those kind of signs needs to be in the school compound, so that teachers are reminded that do not overflog these children, do not overpunish these children. So that is all part of it.
Okay, so the school itself.
This is where the system and structure comes in. Okay, schools have rules and regulations. As you're employing teachers, you're training them, because sometimes this overpunishment and they saying the children are this, it is lack of training and professionalism on the part of the teachers sometimes. So if the school ensures that they employ teachers who are well-trained teachers who know how to handle children and how to give them the right disciplinary measures when they fall out, and ensure that you put systems and structures in place. Monitor these things. Don't just say, hey, don't overflog them, and then you're not monitoring these things. People do things that are only monitored. You make sure you monitor, make sure there are consequences for such behaviors. You don't wait until a parent comes to fight in your school before you know that a teacher is overdoing things. So as a head teacher or as a proprietor, you should put systems. Let someone be checking these things out, and then create an environment where the children can speak up. Because if it is a school where a child comes to headmistress to report that maybe the teacher injured her, or that the teacher is always speaking on her, saying negative things to her, and the school maybe shuts the child down, you see, you're encouraging that behavior. But when something like this happens and maybe you call the teacher to order, it encourages other children to speak up when things like this happen. So that is how the school can make it easier for the children to feel safe in the school.
We've talked about the parents, the teachers, the school. I think it will be incomplete if we don't talk about the child himself or herself. Now, how can a child that is growing, ensure that he or she remains safe, even though the parents are working to make him or her safe? There's also the role of the child.
Yes.
Now, what is the role of the child in child safety?
I think the role of the child starts with the information the child is given.
Okay.
Okay, so it is also part of the job of every other person, the adult in the life of the child, to educate the child. So a lot of children, you go for outreaches with me, some of the children do not even know their rights. They do not know that they also have a part to play in their own safety. So once you've educated the children, it is not left for the children to practice those things they've been taught. I always tell children that their voices are powerful. Do not think that because you are a child, you cannot talk, you cannot express your feeling. Your voices are powerful. So don't say maybe because this teacher flogs me, or my parents beat me, or my guardian beats me a lot. If I've reported once, nobody did anything, so I need to keep quiet. I will tell children to scream until something happens. Just like you pray until something happens. You will keep on reporting, you keep on shouting. So use your voice. Speak up. Whenever you experience any form of abuse, emotional, physical, or sexual abuse, always speak up, always report, and then ensure that you do not put yourself in harm's way. When it comes to sexual abuse, you as a child, you have a role to play. Ensure you're not going to stay with people, you're not getting isolated with people, you're not collecting things from people that will make it difficult for you to speak up, because these abusers and groomers, they will use gifts or threats. Okay, so you also understand that no matter how much someone threatens you, because even the people who are physically abusing children also threaten them not to speak up. They also threaten them not to speak up, so
because the children don't have the information.
So and these children need to know that they have rights. So there are the Child Rights Acts, right? There are laws in this country that protect them from things like this. So when you feel like you are in danger, or you as a child you don't feel safe, if it is happening in school, make sure you speak up. Even if your teacher threatens you or whatever, go home and talk to your parents. If it's happening at home, if it's in school that you feel safe enough to report, please speak up.
Amazing. We've been having this very interesting conversation with Linda Nnodiogu, the convener of Preserved Childhood Foundation. Now let's come to Preserved Childhood Foundation. What do you do there as a foundation?
Preserved childhood, just like the name depicts, means the preservation of children. Okay, preserved childhood is all about prevention. Let's not wait for the oil to spill before we start looking for a solution towards it, because childhood sexual abuse and other forms of abuse, they come with their own consequences. A lot of people you see on drugs today, a lot of people who have become problems in the society, so many issues. A lot of the societal issues we are dealing with today stems from abuse. Okay, so Preserved Childhood Foundation is about the prevention of this different things children suffer. So we go to schools to sensitize children. We believe that the safety of children is a collective responsibility. So we do there is the community or society sensitization, which I do every Wednesday on social media, of which we're going to also be doing streets and market sensitization, because the child cannot keep themselves safe if the parents and the adults around them are not doing their own part. And then there's a legislative angle, because there are a lot of laws that still needs to be passed. Okay, so we're bringing in lawmakers so that whatever areas that our laws can be improved to ensure children are safe. This is also part of what the Preserved Childhood Foundation does. And then there's a follow-up for children who have experienced this abuse. How do they get justice? Okay, so it will surprise you to know that there are departments and hospitals, even in the police station, whose sole duty is to handle cases like this. But because people lack this information, yes, so a lot of things go wrong.
And that's why we're here, so that we'll give people the information, so that if they have such challenges, they will know the right quarters to get to. So let's talk about this Child Safety Summit coming up. Right?
Okay.
Let's talk about it.
So over the years, like I've been doing this for the past 5 years, going to schools, talking to the students, parents, teachers, I found out that there's this loophole. Okay, so lack of information, then lack of awareness. People who do not understand what abuse is all about and the effects it can have on a child, and then there is the follow-up on if this thing happens, what next? What do we do? So and there's this lack of collaboration between agencies that work on these issues. They do not know they don't have the contact. Is it the police? Is it the laws?
Or is it
the agencies?
I don't even want to say. They don't want to work together.
They don't.
I don't want to say, but I've already said it.
So this is some of the things I've experienced. I've seen children who have experienced this abuse, and there was no follow-up. People just assume that they will get over it.
Yeah.
But when you talk to those children, you see that they've never really gotten over it.
Not at all.
I've talked to adults who really come to me and they're like, this thing you're doing, you don't know what you're doing. I experienced this as a child, and look at how it is still affecting me today. So over the years, after seeing these loopholes and all these things that needs to really come together, we decided that it is important that we organize this summit where all these agencies, all these people who are involved in issues of child abuse, who really have to work together for this system. We say we have a system that works. My people will say, so all these issues we are facing, if someone does not really bring everyone, then let us sit down. Let us really sit down. And even the children themselves, we're not leaving them out. They have to be a part of this conversation. They need to understand the role everyone plays, which is why we brought in the essay competition, right?
Okay.
So that the children bring up innovative ideas.
What's the theme for the summit?
The theme of the summit is the child's safety, our collective responsibility.
Okay.
So everyone has a role to play. Okay. So we're bringing in everyone, the students, the parents, the teachers, the proprietors. We're bringing in people from the human rights, women affairs ministry, police, the lawyers. We have FIDA representative from FIDA. So these are the people that offer this help with cases like this pro bono. It is free of charge. So we've gone together to bring up all the important stakeholders when it comes to child safety. So we'll be all sitting together. They'll be sharing information and awareness on these topics, and then they will be preferring innovative solutions. Okay, and everybody has a chance to collaborate, network, so that the proprietor who comes there gets to get the contact of the department, the police that handles this. They get the contact of the lawyers that handles it. The parent who is coming there is going home with so much information.
Yeah.
So if something like this, even if it's not happening to your child, if it's happening in your neighborhood, because I've seen people who call me and say, oh yeah, this thing happened in my neighborhood. Random people, because of what I do. They call me and say, what do we do? So by coming to this summit, you get valid information on what to really do. And also the media is also part of this conversation. Okay, so they are also coming because they know the information to spread. They know what is affecting the child out there, how they are also playing a part in the child safety scheme.
Wow, very beautiful, very encouraging, and this is amazing. Now, is there a fee attached to it? Is it free, or the entry?
It is absolutely free.
Okay.
The event is free. We had some sponsors.
Where is it happening?
It is happening on the 22nd of November.
Next week, Friday.
Yes.
Okay. 22nd of November.
At Sharon Hall on
Sharon
Nature.
Hall.
Yes, it is starting by 10 a.m.
10 a.m.
Yes.
So who are invited?
Students, parents, teachers, school proprietors, principals. We have people from the police. We need anywhere you are, whether you have children now or you're planning to have in the future, you should be there. We have journalists. Everyone who needs to get the word out there is invited to the summit. Okay.
For enquiries, which number can people call?
For enquiries, call 070-646-66068.
Again?
070-646-66068.
Now, away from the summit, I know sometimes you run webinars, you also teach online. Please, can you talk to parents and teenagers about it so that they can actually join you on those days? Okay,
so every week, every Wednesday at 1 p.m. I usually go live on Facebook and other social media platforms to teach different.
On what's your handle?
My handle is Linda Nnodiogu across different social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Linda Nnodiogu. Or you can follow the page of the Preserve Childhood Foundation on Facebook and Instagram. Okay, so we'll go live and we'll teach different parenting issues.
And the webinars, are you going to have a webinar before this summit? Are you planning for a webinar before the summit?
That's still something in the works.
Yes. Okay. All right. So I think we've covered a lot of things, a lot of questions. For that parent that is still wondering, should I leave everything that I'm doing and just come? It's on a Friday, right? Should I leave everything that I'm doing, leave my market, and just come and sit down and listen? Why should they really leave everything they are doing to come there and listen?
Because this is a once in a lifetime thing. This is something that you are going to benefit so much from. There will be so many market days. There will be so many other days for you to do anything you want to do. But when you prioritize something, the safety of the child, because a child who has been abused in any form, it will affect other areas of their lives. So you the information you'll be getting would help you not just for yourself. Remember, it's a collective responsibility.
Yeah.
You're not just, the information you get is not just for you, it's going to be for your society too.
Yeah.
And then you come and see what we are really doing. Who knows, you might get inspired to join and volunteer for the foundation.
Definitely,
so
definitely.
it is an important, and then you come and experience, listen to these children talk about innovative ideas, because we have so many essays coming in already, and schools that are not registered, they have from now to Tuesday to register for this essay competition.
How can schools
Okay, for schools to register, you can register online no matter where you are in Anambra State. The school can also call the number 070-646-66068.
Take it easy. The number again.
070-646-66068. So they can call the number. The link for the online registration will be sent, and the details for the competition will be sent to them. There are lots of cash prizes. We are talking almost 250,000 naira to be won.
Okay.
So these students are going home with cash prizes and a lot of gifts from our sponsors, right? So it is important that if you're a teacher or a proprietor out there, you need to register your school for this competition.
Okay.
You have from now till 19th. It's just about writing a 750 words innovative ideas on how to end child abuse, right? So any students can be a part of it. Then you, as an observer, come and listen to these children that defend their essay. Yeah, come and listen to them talk about these things. Then there are keynote speeches. Like I said, the lineup of speakers and panelists is mind-blowing. Okay, these are the people you really want. I am myself, I'm organizing this, but I'm looking forward to listening to these people I've invited. So it's very important.
Oh wow, amazing. The day and the time again?
The day is on Friday, November 22nd, 10 a.m. at Sharon Hall, Onitsha.
And
it is free.
It's free.
Yes.
It's free. So Linda Nnodiogu is inviting every one of you to come join the Child Safety Summit. She's the convener of Preserved Childhood Foundation on 22nd of November. That's on Friday at 10 a.m. at Sharon Hall. Please, if you are a lover, of course, if you're a parent, if you're a lover of a child, you have children around you, you need information to help you to secure the child, to preserve the child in this era and time, you need to be there. Linda, your last words before we wrap it up?
My last words would be the safety of children is our collective responsibility, and a safe child is a safe society too. So let's all come together, join hands, and make society better for children.
Definitely, a safe child gives birth to a safer society. Thank you so much, Omoma Asab. That's Linda Nnodiogu, and she said it all. Please do well to be there at the Preserved Childhood Foundation Child Safety Summit happening on Friday, 22nd of November 2024 by 10 a.m. at Sharon Hall. Don't miss it. Don't be told about it. Make sure you are there. And my name is Oma. You're very sweetheart on radio, TV, social media, sweetheart everywhere. Glad to have you join us here. Stay with us here